Uncle Howdy and Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just not. I know, Bray is allegedly sick, which is why he's not around. But when they put Uncle Howdy in there, I wasn't a big fan. And then, the whole Funhouse thing was just too gimmicky.
Let me ask you something else, Bill, while I got you. I'm going to ask you all kinds of questions. I'm sorry.
This is an after chat. You see that?
When it comes to wrestling gimmicks, over all your time in the business, what is the worst gimmick that you remember?
The Papa Shango.
Really?
Thing and Mae Young and the vomit and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Well, I guess when I say gimmick, I mean a character like.
Character.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be. Unfortunately, it would be. And I love the territory, Memphis. They had the Mummy.
The Mummy is that as bad as the one they had in WCW?
Had them all wrapped up. Terrible gimmick. I can't really think of one that really sticks out, except for the guys in Memphis. I mean, WWF had a lot of gimmicks, but I liked them. The Hillbillies, I liked them. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking the plumber. I can't remember his name that they had.
Oh yeah, I agree. Plumber would be right.
Yeah, the Repo Man.
What about Puke? What about Puke?
Puke. He's gonna puke. He's gonna puke.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'll tell you what the worst gimmick was.
What's that?
The Mr. McMahon Kiss My Ass Club. That was it. Hands and butts down. That was it.
I'll tell you this, though. When it was all said and done, because I didn't care for the Kiss My Ass Club. I thought it was kind of demeaning to certain people.
It was.
But when he got in there and did it himself, I was okay. I was like, okay, he did it too.
When they did it with JR in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Also, I was not nuts about Goldust. I did
Really?
not. Yeah, I didn't like my son was about 8 or 9 years old at that time, and I didn't want him to watch it.
You didn't want him to have to explain what a ball gag was.
No, not at that age. I didn't. Today, it's commonplace. There's no problem. Daddy, what is that? And you can tell him.
Well, speaking of today, what's a bad gimmick today that's going on? Is there one that you think needs to be changed? It's just not working?
Yeah, probably. I'm going to shock you to say this. Uncle Howdy and Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just not. I know, Bray is allegedly sick, which is why he's not around. But when they put Uncle Howdy in there, I wasn't a big fan. And then, the whole Funhouse thing was just too gimmicky for me. But I just don't think putting Bobby Lashley in that spot to even, this man's a magnificent athlete.
Yeah.
It's nothing against Bray Wyatt, but the character, I think Bray Wyatt, when he first came back, and he was a good guy, I use magazine terms, good guy and bad guy. He was a good guy, and those first few weeks, I really enjoyed what he was doing.
When it came to Bray Wyatt, and I think you and I differ a little bit on his character, I like the Mississippi Backwoods Bray Wyatt that he originally came into WWE with because it was believable. Everything else got so far out there. It's like The Undertaker, which is over my head right here. The Undertaker, he had a mystique about him, but he was part of an old era that people appreciated and respected. So they allowed some of that mystical stuff to continue with him. But I don't think most people want to see that kind of stuff anymore.
No,
they want to see believable.
I'll tell you what they wanted. When Undertaker whispered in Bray's ear, the next week, I think they wanted to see Bray Wyatt come out as Undertaker Jr. or Undertaker 2, and with the same gimmick as and it really would have gone over. Undertaker comes out with him the first night.
Now, wait a minute. You're saying he should come out with an Undertaker gimmick?
Yeah, he would be instead of the completely supernatural Bray Wyatt, he could have been Bray the Undertaker Wyatt, and Undertaker could have passed his gimmick on to him.
Oh, I don't know if I would have liked that as a fan.
I don't know. I would have liked to have seen it.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting, but as you're saying it, I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I'd like that. I just think Undertaker should be left alone. I don't think Undertaker should have lost at WrestleMania either.
I no, neither do I. But I think if he was going to pass the torch, I think he and Bray Wyatt had a very good understanding, very good relationship. And I thought to follow up on that angle, it should be something. But then he starts doing stuff that the Undertaker doesn't like, and maybe that could lead to SummerSlam with the Undertaker against Bray Wyatt.
Do you think the Undertaker may come back and wrestle another match?
Well, he physically can't do what he did before.
Oh, no.
But again, this is pro wrestling, sports entertainment. And if he's got the right opponent who will look out for him and take care of him, why not?
And I loved when it came to his last match. That was one of the few like a cinema type of matches when he was fighting AJ in the graveyard.
Yeah.
That to me was a perfect way for him to go out. I love that. I love the follow-up of this story on him.
I don't like cinematic matches. It takes it too far out of pro wrestling for me.
For him, though, it worked. That's what I'm saying. I think that character, you could only get away with that when it came to The Undertaker. I don't think anybody else that would have worked.
Well,
I really don't.
Didn't Sting do one as well?
Sting did. It was nothing like The Undertaker's. I mean, theirs was in a factory, and it was okay.